America's Hope is brought to you by Birch Gold Group, the precious metals IRA specialists. Text Kelly to 989898.
Tonight, a clarion call to stop the madness, stop the insanity, and get it together, America, with hope for the family. It all starts now on America's Hope. Good evening, I'm Kelly Wright, and this is America's Hope. We're glad that you could join us this hour, and we hope that you are safe and well because you matter. You know what else matters? Your family. In fact, your family is the bedrock, the foundation of America. But I know you're often sick and tired of hearing about the responsibilities of the family when you're beset with bills and the negative things happening around the world and its impact on you and your family. Well, tonight, my guests are two men who feel your pain and understand your plight as the head of the family or as a child in the family, and they are boldly and courageously challenging all of us to stand up for our families. I met with Ryan Bomberger and Abraham Hamilton III during my visit to the National Religious Broadcasters Convention held recently in Nashville. And as you will see, both gentlemen love God, love this country, and are dedicated to providing hope for the family. Let's get started with Ryan Bomberger, founder of the Radiance Foundation. I want to introduce to you someone that you will love knowing. His name is Ryan Bomberger. Good of you to join us this hour on America's Hope. Look, you're an Emmy Award-winning writer, producer, content creator. You don't accomplish that easily, but I sense because of the message that you have, awards are one thing, titles are another thing, but I lay my trophies down for glorifying God in my life.
Yes, 100%.
Let's start right there.
Well, you have to kind of go back to the beginning. My family, I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I grew up in your not-so-typical American family of 15. Two parents who love the Lord, and when you love the Lord, the natural outflow of that is loving people. And they had three original Bombergers. I call them the homemade ones. And then they adopted 10. So I was the first of 10 adopted in this family of 15. And so having been adopted and loved, and not only just adopted and loved, but I was conceived in rape. So from the start, I had this great appreciation for a God who rescues and redeems. And so having parents who poured all kinds of love into us and helped unleash our purpose, it's hard for me not to want to focus on showing the love of God, the incredible creativity of God. And so that's what my wife and I, Bethany, do through our foundation called the Radiance Foundation.
And you know, you're talking about the radiance, and what radiates from you is this this light of love for people.
Yeah.
You have a sense of humor about you, and warm, and you grew up in an area that for many people who don't know is Amish country.
Yes.
I've been to Lancaster. I love it. I love the idyllic lifestyle that people have lived there.
Right.
Yet, like the rest of the world, they have been exposed to tragedy through terror attacks inflicted upon them many years ago. And that community came together.
Right.
So let's expand upon that, because we have a lot of people being exposed to all kinds of violence and mayhem. How do you help people understand that through it all, we still have the ability to stand together as Americans?
Yes. And you know, there's a lot of violence in this country. It's sadly because we don't see each other as being made in the image of God. And when you fail to see that equal and inherent worth that's not given to us by man, woman, or governmental institution, when you fail to see that, then you fail to treat others the way that you would want to be treated. And so a lot of what I've done as a single adult before I even got married, I did a lot of mentoring in inner city programs, seeing kids who had what seemed to be hopelessness, just sheer hopelessness. But it's amazing what happens when you pour yourself into their lives. And so this is what people need to understand, that we can address all the failures and the brokenness of our culture when we love people, because love actually compels you to act. It's not just a matter of sitting back and like, hey, I love you. No, I love you enough to actually step into your situation and help elevate you. And that's a lot of what we do through the Radiance Foundation. We We address the injustice of abortion, because without life, no other rights matter, and it's the ultimate violence. We also talk about adoption, having been adopted, and also an adoptive father. 4 kiddos, 4 teenagers right now. 2 out of my 4 were adopted. And, coming from a family where I had siblings who escaped incredible violence, and yet I saw how love transformed their lives.
Wow.
So that was kind of the blueprint for everything that I do as an adult through our organization with my wife Bethany, and it's why I was so passionate, because we love God, and as I mentioned before, when you love God, you love people, and you can't help but act when you see injustice.
Ryan, let's unpack that a little bit, because your family, 15 children. Talk to me about the makeup of the family racially.
Right. Well, we are kind of many flavors. So my parents are white, which actually I'd like to say off-white, because no one's truly white. If you're white, you probably have a medical condition. But I'm mixed. I'm white, I'm black, I'm British, German, Portuguese, Spanish, I'm part Thai. I'm a mixture of so many things.
You got some of me in there.
Yeah. I'm more indigenous than Elizabeth Warren. I'm just putting that out there. But my family is a mixture too. We're mixed, white and black. Sister's Vietnamese, my brother's Blackfoot Indian, able, disabled, adopted, mostly as toddlers and babies out of the foster care system, but also some teens out of the foster care system. And every one of us in our family has special needs, just like everyone watching right now has special needs, which are to love and to be loved. So that was the makeup of our family. For a short period of time, 1.5 bathrooms in that farmhouse.
What?
Yeah, no.
What, are you kidding
We
me?
expanded years later, but yeah, 1.5 bathrooms. Just let that sink in. I had 6 sisters.
It's sinking in.
But I loved it. I can't imagine growing up any other way.
That teaches you how to share.
Oh, yes, it does.
And to share with patience.
Right, yes. There's a lot of patience. I mean, if you wanted to eat, you had to eat fast, so you can want to get seconds. But no, there was a lot of patience, a lot of love. Not a lot of chaos. People would think, oh, there are 13 children, actually 15 total with my parents. But people thought it was chaos, but it really wasn't. And I can only attribute that to the God of peace that stepped in many situations in our home. But it was a lot of fun. Neighborhood kids, 15 to 20 of them at a time, sometimes down on our farm in our barns and playing.
I absolutely love it. I love it. Okay. And the culture that you were raised in, this culture of love.
Yes.
What does that look like?
Well, it takes on different forms, especially through our organization. But the reason why our organization is actually named the Radiance Foundation is because my wife was a single mom. In her late 20s, she was teaching in inner city Philly and had walked away from God, and had also walked away from a toxic relationship only to find out that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And knew that she would never abort, but she was pressured to abort. The biological father didn't want the child. And so she rejected the violence of abortion, but the pressure on her as a teacher, from fellow teachers, from many of them, was just to abort. But she knew. In fact, the verse is Psalm 34, 4 and 5, and it says, I sought the Lord, and he relieved me of all my fears, and those who look to him are radiant. They will never be covered with shame. And that's why she named that baby girl Radiance. She's the reason for the name of our organization. She's now 19 years old, a freshman at Liberty. Can I say freshman? She's a freshman at Liberty. But how this plays out is the way that we act in love, not just through our organization, but even through our family and teaching our children. You never know someone's circumstances. And you may think, oh, they're being a jerk right now. That person's being mean. But sometimes you have to step back and say, wait a minute, we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what trauma they may be experiencing right now. So how can we best love them? And so we try to carry that out in the organization, the outreaches that we have. We have outreaches to birth moms. We have outreach to teens, trying to teach teens what it means to be a person of character and integrity. So there are a lot of different ways that this plays out, but it all can be summed up is that we just love. We love a lot.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far of America's Hope. If you'd like to see it in its entirety, just click on the link below. Thanks for watching.